The Whispering Meadow. In a distant valley untouched by the noise and rush of the modern world, there lay a meadow so peaceful and untouched that it felt like a hidden realm, a place where the rest of the world faded away. The meadow was vast, with soft emerald grass that seemed to ripple like a sea whenever the breeze passed through. Daisies, violets, and bright yellow buttercups dotted the landscape, their petals swaying as though they were dancing to some ancient, unseen music. There was a purity to this place, a stillness that felt eternal, as if time moved more slowly here. At the edge of the meadow, a crystal-clear stream meandered lazily, its water as smooth and reflective as glass. It wound its way over stones that had been polished by the water's touch over countless years, creating a soft, soothing sound as it flowed. The sound of the stream was accompanied by the occasional call of birds from the nearby forest, their songs echoing through the air, blending perfectly with the whisper of the wind. In the afternoons, when the sun was warm and high in the sky, a girl named Lily often wandered into the meadow. Lily had discovered this secret haven years ago, and it had since become her favorite place in the world. She loved the way the sunlight bathed the meadow in golden light, the way the air always seemed so fresh, filled with the scent of wildflowers and earth. Every step she took on the soft grass made her feel lighter, as if the meadow was welcoming her, embracing her with its serenity. Lily wasn't sure why, but the meadow always made her feel connected to something larger than herself. It was as though the trees, the stream, the sky, and even the smallest flowers were all part of a quiet, harmonious world that existed just for her. Here there were no loud noises, no distractions, no rush, only calm. One summer day, when the air was particularly warm and the sky a perfect, cloudless blue, Lily ventured further into the meadow than she usually did. She had always felt that the meadow was much larger than it appeared, as though it stretched beyond what the eye could see. Today she decided to explore it. She took off her shoes and felt the cool grass beneath her bare feet, enjoying the sensation as she walked deeper into the meadow, following the sound of the stream. The stream gurgled softly beside her, its clear water twinkling in the sunlight as it wound its way through the tall grass. Lily bent down and dipped her hand into the cool water, smiling as she felt its refreshing touch. She watched as small fish darted in the shallows and dragonflies hovered just above the surface. The sight made her feel even more connected to this tranquil place. As she continued walking, the wind began to change. It wasn't stronger but gentler, as though it were speaking directly to her. It carried with it a soft, barely noticeable whisper. At first, Lily thought it was her imagination, but then she heard it again, a quiet voice, almost like the wind itself was calling her name. Lily! She stopped looking around. There was no one else in the meadow, no one who could be calling her. But the voice wasn't frightening. It was soft, calm, like the voice of a friend or a comforting breeze. The whisper seemed to come from the far side of the meadow, a part she had never ventured into before. Curious, she decided to follow the sound. The tall grass parted easily as Lily made her way through, the whisper guiding her deeper into the meadow. The further she walked, the more she felt a strange yet soothing sense of anticipation, as if she was about to discover something long hidden. Soon she came to a place where the meadow opened into a small secluded clearing. In the center of the clearing stood a large tree, its branches stretching wide and its roots deep in the earth. But this was no ordinary tree. Its bark was smooth and silver, glimmering faintly in the sunlight, and its leaves were golden, shimmering as if they were made from the sun's rays. It stood tall and strong, ancient yet full of life, as though it had been watching over the meadow for centuries. The whisper grew louder as Lily approached the tree, and with it came a deep sense of calm. She placed her hand on the tree's bark, and in that moment, she felt a warmth spread through her entire body. The tree wasn't just a tree, it was alive in a way she had never felt before, as though it had a spirit of its own. And then she heard it again, clear this time, a voice from within the tree itself. "Welcome, Lily," the voice said, gentle and wise, like the rustling of leaves in the wind. "I have been waiting for you." Lily's heart swelled with wonder, but she wasn't afraid. She sat down at the base of the tree, leaning against its trunk, and closed her eyes. The whisper continued, not in words but in feelings, in images. The tree told her the story of the meadow, of how it had stood there for centuries watching over the land. It told her of the animals that called the meadow home, the birds that sang in its branches, the wind that traveled across the world, carrying tales from distant lands. Lily could feel the stories as the tree spoke. She saw visions of rain falling softly on the meadow, nourishing the flowers and making the grass grow tall. She saw stars twinkling above on quiet nights, and the soft glow of the moon reflecting on the stream. Time seemed to slow, and for a moment, she felt as though she were part of the meadow itself, a part of something ancient and peaceful. Hours passed, though it felt like only minutes. The sun began to set, casting the meadow in hues of pink and gold. Lily opened her eyes, feeling a deep sense of peace. The tree's whispers had quieted, but the warmth remained. She stood, placing her hand on the bark once more, and whispered, "Thank you." As she made her way back through the meadow, the sky above had turned a deep blue, with the first stars beginning to twinkle. The wind was still, but the peace of the meadow lingered in her heart. She knew that no matter what, the meadow would always be there, a place of calm, waiting for her whenever she needed it. That night, as Lily lay in bed, the soft whispers of the tree filled her mind once more. She fell asleep easily, dreaming of the meadow, the tree, and the peaceful world that existed beyond the noise of everyday life. A world she knew she could return to whenever she needed stillness and calm.